All right, we're back. We've got very special guests. We're excited to welcome first overall draft pick in the PLL, first overall draft pick in the NLL, Tewaaraton winner, national champion, and just all around great guy. Former Trilogy Lacrosse coach, all-time goal scorer in the NCAA. Was that the one you were?
No, I was going to say keep going.
Yeah, but having a heck of a year. CJ Kirst, pumped to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
You're going to show the T-shirt you ordered today, you dork?
I'm sure he's
got
one on under his shirt there. He's
Let's
sweating
go.
out. So where you're living in New York City, working in the big city and playing in Toronto, right?
Yep, working, playing, traveling a lot. So yeah, it's been good. Living with Hugh Kelleher, so we're doing everything together. And then another Cornell buddy, Ryan Sheehan. So yeah, it's nice having Huey as a teammate and in the professional now compared to this summer. So yeah, it's great. Great being back with the boys.
Where are you guys living in the city?
We're in East Village.
Very
Good
nice.
spot. It's a great spot. It's a great
Yeah.
spot.
When Mitch Belisle used to haunt around.
Some ghosts of me skittering around.
That's right. That's right.
Love that.
We went third or fourth between A and B.
Oh yeah, fourth and B.
I
Yeah.
remember that part of it. Do you get recognized in the city at all?
Nothing crazy. Couple Cornell people here and there. So but yeah.
So before we dive in, so I think like to connect like where lacrosse has gone and where it is now in terms of like with New York City, two things. Well, I'll just stick to one thing actually. So this is like 2 or 3 months ago, right? I'm driving my daughter. She goes to school like the Upper East Side. I live in the Lower East Side. So I'm driving up on an FDR, right? She's in the back seat. I'm driving the FDR. I'm all by myself. I get to a stoplight, and along the East River, there's like a 20-something-year-old going for like a morning jog. Coulter Mackesy jersey on. Just like a Boston Cannons Coulter and I'm like I can't, like, my daughter's like, you know, she doesn't care. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, you tell, like, as soon as I stopped, I was like trying to explain to Coulter, but like to me, that was one of the wildest things. I've been in the city close to 20 years. I mean, you can imagine living in East Village, you know, close to 20 years ago. The thought of someone having like
in the wild,
like a cross jersey on,
that's cool,
and just going for a morning jog, it just felt like something. So
That's nuts.
it was actually Coulter there.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So I'll if I see somebody in a Water Dogs or Rock jersey, I will let you know right away. But it was just like a culture,
please do,
of like, whoa, this is something. This is like new. This is, you know, so.
Well, I want to dive into some, you know, you've gone through this amazing run dating back to World Box Championships, which I got to call back last fall, was an incredible experience and get to watch you there. And then you go on with national championships, set the records, tour, and all that stuff you probably talked about a million times. Like, those are all things I'm sure were goals of you playing in the backyard, right? And you got to accomplish those. Are probably unbelievable experiences. What has been some of the like tangential, because you got to do that, or because you did that, you got to do, like, I know you got to go to ESPYs, you got to ride on the Zamboni at MSG this past weekend. Like, what maybe has been the coolest off-field thing or person you've met off-field that you're like, man, this is like wild. I never would have expected this through lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's funny to look back on. I mean, joking around with some of my friends, just like about that stuff, because like you would have never even imagined having some of those opportunities. Like traveling to the ESPYs with my mom was probably the coolest thing. Having that week of you know, just hanging out with so many cool people. Being able to meet Shane Gillis was awesome. John Jones was pretty cool. Like just being in that atmosphere for those 2 days was probably the coolest thing I'll ever experience. But yeah, I would say that was definitely one of the cooler opportunities I had.
Shane Gillis was just on talking about lacrosse on a podcast. He's got some lacrosse. He's a Philly guy, right? So he's got some lacrosse ties.
Yeah, I think he's also just all around like genuine guy. When I was able to meet him, he knew exactly what was going on. Was like, oh yeah, like I've stayed in touch with the sport and was just down to earth. So yeah, it was a good hello.
That's cool.
What were some of the things around that event? You know, because obviously you see what's televised, right? But we don't get to see the extracurriculars, the things that happen kind of behind the scenes, the events, the parties, the media events. What was something that kind of jumped out to you that wasn't televised that you got to attend and kind of be a part of?
I think just staying at the hotel with some of the guys or some of the athletes was pretty cool. Like I was in an elevator with Matt Stafford. I was like, whoa, this. My mom's like elbowing me, being like, oh, like this guy looks like a sick athlete. Yeah, Simone Biles was pretty cool to stand next to, and my mom like complimented her shoes and everything. So that was awesome. But yeah, just I would say like the hotel and just seeing everyone hanging out. I think that was probably the coolest thing because there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people working for other people, and just having that opportunity to see people interact was pretty cool.
Rewinding it back to the playoffs and the Final Four, I got to go to it with my kids. We had a blast, had so much fun. You know the hand injury that you played through, when did you know that? I remember I think I came and saw you play Penn earlier in the year, and you had like a cast on. I was like, "You're all right." You're like, "I'm good." Like how much of that was like, were you trying to be like, "I can't let anyone know. I got to just get through this."
Yeah, it happened after I think the third game. So it was a long injury, and like it happened in practice one day. You know, kind of felt it right away. Wasn't able to grip my stick for the rest of the week. It happened on like a Tuesday practice. Wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to play on Saturday. But got an MRI and X-ray and everything. Found out I broke the hook of the hamate bone in your palm. And then you know, after talking with the coaches and our training staff, you know, they were gonna let me play, and was able to, I guess, power through that game day. And then I guess with that injury, the pain kind of goes away as like time goes on. Your body just figures itself out. So was able to get back on the practice field for you know, a couple weeks after for the remainder of the season. Lucky enough, wasn't doing like one-on-one ground balls or the really hard hitting drills, which was awesome. But was able to play and everything else, and then yeah, just kind of kept it, tried keeping it close to the chest for a while. But yeah, had to play with the cast and everything, and yeah, was able to power through for the rest of the season.
So when like one-on-one ground ball drills came out, we're like, sorry guys, hook of the hamate, like you know, have fun with this, but you know,
Eric Pittard move. I gotta hit the buy station bike over there on the side of the field.
No, I mean, knowing our coaches, they weren't letting me just sit there and watch. So yeah, I was with our strength coach Tom Halley, figuring it out in the corner, running sprints, and hitting the football dummies in the corner, trying to simulate a game. So yeah, it was pretty funny. I mean, my teammates would joke about it, just seeing me in the corner doing you know, the craziest drill to just trying to simulate like a game like situation. But yeah, it was definitely a tough situation when it happened so early on in the season. But thankfully had the training staff and so many great people who were supporting me throughout that process, and even just a level head during all of it, because obviously it was pretty tough figuring that out as a senior, not really knowing how the rest of the season's going to go. But yeah, was fortunate enough to figure it out, and yeah, it ended up working out. So
I'm going to bust your chops. I saw you that summer, PLL summer, when you were out, and you gave me like the Bull Durham routine. I like was like, you know, like just like, hey, how's your hand? Like very like innocuous, just like, you know, hey, how's your hand doing? Like how you coming along? And like, I guess I am a member of the media and I'm in the broadcast booth, but I thought I was approaching it in a more personal manner, and you know, met you before and whatnot, and it was like, well, you know, like we're just gonna take it one day at a time, you know, like, you know, week to week, God willing, you know, I'll be back out on the field. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm just asking how your hand's doing.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the most like coach speak, injury speak, like
PLL media training is
yeah.
paying off, right? They sent them there.
Yeah, it was PLL media training. But that was the truth at the time though, because I was still like was doing PT, and I guess I was still in a sling at that time. I remember the conversation, but yeah, I was like hoping to be back in like 3 weeks at that time, but obviously it took a little bit longer. So I was trying to be smart with what I was saying to the media.
We're
I'm just gonna assume that I was a member of the media, and that's why I got that response.
Yes, yeah, you're in a suit. I had to.
suits. I was looking back at, we were talking about when kind of your first, I guess you came to Cole was it Cole Kastner? Who was who's the big defenseman, the Duke defenseman that came to camp with you and your brothers with me that first year?
Cole
Krause. Cole Krause. Yeah. So you, Cole Krause, your brother Cole, and your brother Colin all were at our Future Aces camp back in June. That was like the year after COVID, 21, because you were out. No, that was the summer before things kicked back off, I think, right? But that was a heck of a cool weekend.
It was the summer of 21. Because I remember, I think I was there in the fall and then coached after that. So yeah, that should be right.
And then when was it when you came out and you ran the clinics at Central Park of Morris County and the torrential down? Those to me stand out as some of my like best memories of you, just out there zinging it with the kids, pouring rain, like torrential.
I think that was that spring. I think it was before I coached that camp, if I remember correctly, because I think that's why you guys were putting those together, because guys, like, kids weren't getting as many like opportunities to play as they usually do. So and then I was home, so I think I reached out. I was like, hey, would love to coach.
I think that to me is like one of the best testaments of who you are as a person, and also just like your love of the game. Like, I think it's like one of those cliche things to talk about, right? But like, I remember working with you at clinic. It is a torrential downpour. The talent is like all over the map.
There's so many players in that.
Yeah.
Was in there, right?
I'm just saying it was like whoever wants to show up. Right. It wasn't like a
mixed bag.
Yeah, it wasn't like an invite only, or it was just like, if you want to get some reps before the season. And your energy, you were like amazing with the players. You had this incredible energy. Meanwhile, it like could not have been worse conditions. You remember this?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was you painted the picture correct. I mean, it was pouring rain. I remember being like, oh, this is gonna stink, but I mean, we're out in the field, so might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
That year, so I was thinking back to this. If you guys had played that year, Teat was also, that was supposed to be Teat's senior year, right? So you and Teat would have overlapped for 1 year, Cornell.
Yes, yeah, we would have played that spring together.
Things that could have been, that would have been wild. Maybe we'll see a collaboration sometime here in the future.
It worked out all right.
Yeah, they both did okay. No. I mean, so you're still coaching, right? Are you doing stuff with Kirst Brothers Lacrosse, and are you still talking about what you got going on lacrosse wise outside of your playing career?
Yeah, I mean, playing a lot, but when we do have our bye weekends, fortunate enough to coach with my brothers. So this weekend, December 7th, we have a clinic coming up in Morristown, New Jersey. So it'll be good to get back out there with them. And my brothers are doing a lot of coaching and clinics from box to sixes to normal field individual training. So it's been great, and being able to do it with my brothers as well is just another excuse for all of us to get together, which is awesome. And like you said, I mean, if you think I brought the energy to that raining event, I think you'd be amazed by how Connor, Colin, Cole especially, and Caden show up with. So it's always a ton of fun. We get together and coach. So I'm excited for this Sunday.
Hopefully it's not torrential downpour.
We'll be all right.
Their kind of weather. It's their kind of weather right there.
You want to talk some box?
Yeah, let's get into box. You played your first NLL game. I think it's a little different than maybe some prior Americans who are like me and Ryan, who were like never had even seen box and were playing a pro game. You had some experience, went up to Canada. Was it Nanaimo or was it Mimico that you played for?
Mimico.
So when was that? That was after your sophomore season?
Yes, after 2023 season. So went up there and lived with Cornell teammate Andrew Dalton, and then was able to play for Mimico with guys like Lucas Dudemain, Georgetown guy, and Finn Thompson as well. So yeah, it was a great summer playing, and I mean, it's like the coolest. It's Friday Night Lights up there. It's the coolest experience ever. it's cool to see more guys doing so. And yeah, I mean, everything you could have dreamed about playing summer lacrosse in college. You know, you go up there, the whole town supports you. You get in the playoffs, you're playing in packed barns, I guess they like to say. So yeah, it was a great experience heading up there.
What do you think it did for your game in terms of kind of individually and from a still perspective and skill set, and then more of like concepts and IQ?
Yeah. Well, first things first, I couldn't score for the life of me. It was so hard. You're playing on smaller goals in the NLL. Goalies are playing with wooden sticks, and so 5-hole is not even an option. And yeah, it was really difficult, I guess, trying to figure out. And we were practicing here and there, but a lot of it was just games. And I think that was the coolest part. And I think that's why Canadians are so great, because they constantly are playing. And you know, whether it's you know, box in the summer or at school, but it's all just game-like situations that you find yourself in. So you know, in the summers when you usually go to the field and working on just shots up the hash or time in rooms, you know, you start breaking down the game a little bit differently when you're playing. And I don't know how many games in a summer of box. So just thinking about like the different tight spaces that you're in, and you know, how you can get off a shot a little bit quicker without cradling, or a little bit of a backhand pass instead of switching hands, and then just trying to manipulate the goalie. Back to my first point of trying to score. I think that was the hardest thing to figure out, was, you know, dipping your shoulder or just snapping the ball compared to pushing it to the near side corner, like stuff like that, where you know, you can't really practice without you know, failing in a game. And I think that I guess to bring back to my second point, was just why Canadians are so great, because they're just constantly playing and thinking about that stuff.
I think I remember you were playing against Syracuse maybe 2 or 3 years, it was probably right after the Mimico summer, and you were like running up the hash and like it was like the weirdest, the way you kind of turned your body and used the defender and shot around him. I was like, that's box right there. And I was like, and it was just different, like the way you moved and the way you used the defender and shot around him. I'm like, that is definitely a box influence. That was very cool to see. So that's the most specific reference. Well, I know producer
ever,
Andrew is going to go and find it.
I think that's the most specific reference you've ever made.
That's the only thing I remember is CJ Kirst Bowl.
In a game that you weren't involved in.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about the games I played. So take us game one, Toronto Rock. You know, your #1 pick, a lot of high expectations.
It was incredible. I think just going up there for training camp and you know, being in a locker room again was awesome. And to have our facility and just have the space to really feel or be a part of the culture and get to know everyone was the coolest experience I've had with professional lacrosse. So just having those 4 weeks of exhibition games and practices, and you know, just being able to get reps with guys during the day, was having our own locker room too, was you know, it's been a great couple weeks. And then you know, just heading into the first game, you know, being able to play with so many great players, like Mark Matthews, Challen Rogers. It's dream come true to finally play in an NLL game. Been a fan for so long. So yeah, it was great atmosphere, sold out crowd in Oshawa, and unfortunate that we didn't get it done, but excited for our home opener in 2 weeks.
So you brought up training camp, you brought up exhibition games. I'd be curious to go around the horn, and maybe you haven't had this yet, but do you remember your welcome to the NLL moment?
I think we talked about mine, where I literally jumped over the boards, like no hand, just jumped over the boards, like, this is awesome. It was in Portland. It was with the New York Titans. You were probably on the bench.
Oh, I remember you yelling.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy? So have you had a welcome to the NLL moment, or do you mean to tee you up with one first?
I wouldn't necessarily say like I have one of those like holy cow moments yet.
Yeah.
I mean, probably will have one soon, but I think one of the scrimmages, there's like a cheap hit, or like a guy greased someone pretty good into the boards and came right over and was like, who was it? And it's just one of those moments where you're like, everyone's got each other's back, and it's so cool to witness. And you know, it's like when you talk about having a great culture, but that's what it's about. You know, everyone's best friends on our team, and that was one of the cooler. It was like my first exhibition game too, and it was. I remember walking to the locker room after that period and being like, "Wow, like what we got a great group. Like this is going to be a special year." So yeah,
Were you pulling the dumb and dumber?
I don't know.
Like that guy right there.
No, it wasn't me who got greased. I was just a part of the play. And I just remember, you know, everyone's got each other's back. So, yeah, it was cool to witness.
So we played an exhibition game in like Grand Rapids, Iowa. Is that even a place? Or something like that. Like the floor, like there was a debate before the scrimmage on like whether this was actually like we should play or not, like whether the condition was like safe enough, because I think like the turf either like didn't go all the way or like went all the way and then like rolled up. It was like something like that. It was like super sketchy turf. So like all the players and teams had to be like, are we actually going to do this? So and then we did, and so we're playing the game, and like the shot clock expires. Right. And it was like maybe questionable, but like clearly a hair late. And I just whipped one at the goalie. Who was that? I didn't know because I didn't play growing up, you know. And one of the defensemen on the other team just comes and just puts me in a headlock and just personally walks me over to our boards and is like, if you ever fucking do that again, like I'm gonna like just maul you. Like
remember who it was?
I don't. I think we might have played against the Nighthawks, so we could
Reggie.
probably.
Was it Reggie?
No, we might be able to reverse engineer who it was. But I got personally escorted to the bench, and it was like a little bit of like, you get this one
warning. Yeah.
It was
first
like
one's free.
Yeah. It was like you get this one, and then next time, you know, you're gonna get your teeth bashed in. But that was my welcome to NLL moment.
That's nuts.
So you mentioned scoring was difficult up in the junior lacrosse. Seemed to have an okay time with it in NLL. The bigger goals made a little bit of a difference. You scored the first in Toronto Rock season history, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was definitely like I guess similar to what you were talking about earlier, a box shot where, you know, I've taken that shot multiple times in training camp, and our coaches kept kind of telling me, being like, hey, if you wrap it around a defender, it's hard to see the release no matter where you put it. So I just remember kind of thinking about that, you know, coming out of a roll, and was just using the defender as a screen, and was lucky enough to get the ball on frame. And that's kind of been, you know, the mentality of shooting now is just keeping it simple and get it on pucks on net. So yeah, I was lucky enough to put it on frame and for have it to go in.
Has anybody on the Rock stood out to you as like the guy who's kind of taking you under his wing? I know you mentioned Challen, you mentioned Mark Matthews. Is there anyone who's been like, hey, why don't you try this, or it's kind of walking you through things?
Yeah, I would say playing with Dan Craig has been awesome. Being able to just watch film with him and sit next to him in the locker room, and you know, a fellow lefty as well. So yeah, being able to talk to him, Kirst Bowl as well. He's an incredible player, a guy who knows how to find the back of the net, and then I'd also throw in Owen Hiltz. You know, being rookies together and being able to talk about different things, and you know, and just going through the experience together has been great. And yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot, and it's been pretty fast. So yeah, trying to take it all in.
How much have your brothers served as a resource and a support as you've gotten into the professional ranks, in terms of just giving you a little bit of some insight into just how this all kind of works and operates? Because it's, you know, obviously the transition from college to pro, there's the talent gap, right? But then there's also like all the things that go into it, the week leading up, the travel, the preparation that you have to do on your own. It's kind of this like sharp divide in terms of kind of going from one to the other. And some players adapt really well, and I think some players are like, whoa, like I gotta figure out this on my own. Like what? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. They've been huge, especially you know, being, I guess, close to home. Having them as a resource has been incredible, and you know, being able to watch how they went about their business these past couple of years, being at school and coming home for winter break, and having the opportunity to, work out with them after they finish up their jobs and stuff. So definitely saw it firsthand, and then now going through it, being able to talk with them whenever I'm in an Uber going to the airport, just catching up with them, talk about their weeks and seeing what works for them. Because as you get older, you got to try new things. And I think that's something I really seen from Connor is the way that he works out and, he stays in game shape and, and just seeing how much success he's had these past couple of years. He's definitely been a role model of mine, and just how he operates. And then, being able in the summers to shoot on Colin and stay ready for games. And then, and Cole as well. I mean, Cole and I text and talk about lacrosse every single day. So, having him as a resource has been huge. And I think he's a bigger NLL fan and professional lacrosse fan than anyone else I know. So, it's been great being able to talk with him.
Toronto Rock, Cornell, all this talk. Toronto Rock 0-1. San Diego Seals 1-0. 1-0. I didn't mess. This hat looks way too big, so I didn't want to show you this before.
Good height.
Yeah. You like that? 1-0. Zach Courier. We had 18 ground balls.
Wow. Water dog.
What Brad Cree had a goal, an assist, 10 loose balls, and like 5 caused turnovers. I saw that stat line. I was like, geez, this guy. And then he went and worked a shift at the hospital, being a doctor the next day. Or that was Mitch DeSnow. Sorry, Mitch DeSnow.
Yeah.
But 18 loose balls is something special.
Princeton guy.
Yeah,
just to put a little. I'm just bookending our conversation.
Kirst Bowl. Do we have a Desert Dogs Rock matchup on the calendar circled?
Yes, the 27th. So be cool being home for Christmas with everyone, and then get to play them after, and hopefully there's a lot of family and friends there. So it's in Toronto, so it should be a pretty cool environment.
Are there any friendly stakes on these games when you guys go against each other?
Maybe this one. I mean, we haven't had anything in the past. Nothing, from this summer in college, but maybe we could work something out.
I think we need to weave something in here, some sort of. You're a big fan of the costume punishment.
I do like a good costume punishment. Yeah, we'll see. The Kirst brothers, I think they can come up with something good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creative fun.
He doesn't want to throw it out now to his brother.
Yeah, that's true. You could throw the gauntlet down. You could pick something that that Connor would hate.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
All right. We'll give you some time to marinate. Well, CJ, you've been crushing it. NLL championship next box to check, and then maybe a PLL championship after that. But pleasure reconnecting with you, and congrats on all the success. And it's been, like I said, you're the only guy I remember who makes plays. I can't remember anything of the games that we played in. I just remember plays you make. So
truly, that was shocking.
No, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Certainly appreciate it. So thanks.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.